What is happening, everybody? Trey here, and today at Reactions to the Classics, it is time for a group we have somehow never featured on the channel. It's Deftones, and it's going to be their really acclaimed record, popular album, White Pony, coming in today, full album reaction. I'm looking forward to this one. I want to shout out our friend and longtime patron of the channel, Josh, for suggesting this one for us to dive into today. And without further ado, man, let's just get into the quick facts of this. They're, if you don't know, an American alternative metal band formed in Sacramento, California in 1988. It was formed by the lead frontman and one of the coolest names I think you're going to come across, Chino Moreno. We have Stephen Carpenter on lead guitar, Abe Cunningham was on drums, and Dominic Garcia was on bass. During their first 5 years, they changed lineup several times, but stabilized in 93 when Cunningham rejoined after his departure a few years prior. And we had Hai Ching now as the bassist, and remained stable for 15 years with the exception of a keyboardist and turntablist who is actually on this record here. We have Frank Delgado. He was added in 99. They're known as one of the most experimental groups to have come from the alternative metal scene and have sold over 10 million albums. This album right here, White Pony, is their third record, released in June 2000, and is their best-selling album. Produced by Terry Date, who produced their first two records, Adrenaline in my birth year, 1995, and Around the Fur in 97. It marked a significant growth in the band's sound and is considered a turning point in their history in terms of experimentation, employing an increasingly experimental rock sound and incorporating influences from one of my favorite genres, post-hardcore. Also got some trip-hop in there, some shoegaze, progressive rock, post-rock, into the alternative metal sound for which they became known. It was also the first Deftones record which Chino Moreno began to contribute some rhythm guitar portions as well. Stylistically, it's said that this combines the band's standard alternative metal sound, influenced by bands such as Tool, Faith No More, Nine Inch Nails, three groups that I enjoy, with layered atmospherics of The Cure, specifically their Pornography era, one of my favorite records by them as well. So, man, on paper, this seems like it might be up my alley. White Pony is street slang for cocaine. However, there are many other meanings for the album name, including a sexual reference explained by Chino, saying, quote, "There's a lot of different references for White Pony. One of them is a cocaine reference, and there's a lot of stuff. Have you ever heard of stuff like in dream books that if you dream about a white pony, then you're having a sexual dream? There's a lot of stuff that kind of goes around it, and there's an old song that goes, Ride the White Horse. That's obviously a drug reference song. A lot of acclaim for this album as well from numerous publications, from Pitchfork to NME. All tracks written by Deftones here. And also want to note, we're going to go with the original version as the band wanted it to be released and how it was released originally before their label decided to add on Back to School as the opener there. And I know Chino came out and said that he wasn't a big fan that they did that. So we're just going to keep with the original 11 track listing right here. I'm going to have the lyrics pulled up as always, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully it's hit or miss on YouTube on full album reactions, you know, getting up and staying on YouTube. Hopefully it doesn't get blocked, but if it does, though, there will be a link to Vimeo down in the description where you can check out the full video with music included, uncut. So shout out to those patrons, man, like Josh, who help us with the server space over there on Vimeo to provide that link for free, man. Always want to keep that up, and shout out to the patrons for doing that. But all that to say, man, it's time to start this record off. I'm excited to dive into it, and we're going to start with a Portuguese word here, which, if you know me and my pronunciation troubles, I had to look this up. I came across a couple different things. I'm going to go with Feta Serra. Chino explained in Deftones World, quote, "It's named after a Brazilian female, but it's lyrically about a kidnapping scenario. Details a few hours of being held captive. There's a lot of dialogue in there that was fun to write. The working title was actually going to be New Murderer. The name itself is some Brazilian name that I read in a magazine and I just liked. It's loosely based on the scenario of being taken captive and completely fictional. I want people to listen to it and feel like they're in the situation because I do put myself in the story. It's up to the people to listen to it and figure out whether I'm enjoying myself or not, even though it sounds a little eerie. And it's Portuguese actually for sorceress, and is allegedly inspired by Iona Prado, who played the Beta Serra on Brazilian TV, and members of Deftones came to know through Max Cavalera. Today, she's the wife and manager of Vitor Belfort of MMA fame, and regrets her days of fame as a sex symbol. Some of you might know who she is. I don't. I'll maybe have to look it up, man. But anyways, all that to say, let's dive into this record. Thank you again to Josh, and let's get it, man. Right, Beta Serra. Bringing it, man, as the opener here. I think first off, I want to say that Chino's vocal delivery, man, it really did contribute to that uneasy, as he noted, eerie type of feeling in here, like you would, I would imagine, be experiencing, kind of put you in that headspace of, oh my goodness, this is probably what I would be thinking if I was kidnapped right here, man. Just even noting the police stop chasing, I'm her new cool meat, and I like that kind of shift too, because normally you think in that, or you see it in horror movies or whatever the case may be, most of the time, I'd say like 99% of the time, the kidnapper is going to be an intimidating male figure. Here that's switched on the head, with a female doing the kidnapping right here. She pops the trunk and she removes me, and a machine takes pictures of us. Now my jaw and my teeth hurt. I'm choking from gnawing on the ball. I mean, that's some brutal imagery right there that Chino's hidden with us right out of the gate, man. And I think too, once that chorus kind of finally hits with those backing vocals that are a bit distorted as well, kind of yet again adds to that dark feeling in the song. Great production on this as well. I thought the drumming was a highlight instrumentally, coming in quite powerful, and kind of in and out. Soon I'll let you go, soon I'll let you go. So she sang. I don't know if I believe that, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if I believe that after going through that experience of the opener here. And now we're going to move on to Digital Bath, which I know is a popular one. I was reading it. Features a variety of effects and sampling. Verse is composed of echoed guitar chords and soothing whispered vocals. Also features a high vocal pitch from Chino, virtually unheard of in other Deftones material, so I will be keeping an ear out for that. He said that despite the prettiness of the song, it's actually about electrocuting a girl in a bathtub. He said, quote, "It was probably 5 a.m. We were still up partying, and I just pictured this whole scenario of having this girl, bringing her downstairs and taking a bath, and like out of nowhere, just reaching back and electrocuting. Basically throwing some kind of electrical device in the bathtub and then taking her out of the bath and drying her off and putting her clothes back on." That sounds like a thought you would have at 5 a.m. after maybe you've had a little white pony yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Am I right? But one of the most streamed songs here I see on Spotify. So let's get to it. Well, no light affair to start this album, ladies and gentlemen. Digital Bath coming in, a great tune right here. Love the way that Chino was delivering those vocals, man. That whispery like delivery, and then really then in the chorus, like bringing it up, turning it up to 11. The guitars just coming in heavy, washing over you, man. And towards the end in that outro, he hit that really high note as well that I noted at the beginning. I was listening for it, and that did not disappoint either. And keeping up with some of the dark themes that this record very well might have. I mean, if we're starting the first two songs like this, man, No Light Affair, you're jumping into the deep end right here. And to make a song sound this good, and even cool in a sense, for lack of a better term, with the subject matter, I think people who don't maybe dive into the lyrics aren't going to see like, oh, this is about a dude that's going to kill this woman in a bathtub, man. Just shows that you can make anything sound really good if you got the talent to pull it off, man. I think the whole concept, because tonight I feel like more just kind of shows this guy doesn't care for anyone else or their feelings or what's going to happen to him. He's just going to go in his own internal desires and what he wants. And I think that line, you breathed, then you stopped, I breathed, then dried you off. I mean, that says it all right there, putting that image in your head, man. So, man, another strong tune. Already had to hit the heart on that after first listen. And now we're going to go to Elite right here, which had quite a bit of acclaim and actually won a Grammy for Best Metal Performance in 2001. Abe Cunningham, the drummer, commented saying, "All the people were on the ground, on the floor, and we were just sort of up in the balcony on awards night. We were like, we're not going to win. Look where we're sitting." Everyone else who was winning, they'd get up there quick and get back. So we were just watching it, and the whole thing was rad, just seeing the stuff go down. And all of a sudden, they called our name. We just jumped over the balcony on the floor, ran up there. It was pretty cool. Moreno said the song is laughing at everybody trying to become what they already are. If you want to be one of the elite, you are. All right, elite, man, bringing the bringing the energy at a very high level right here, man. I was waiting to hear those very kind of hard metal, post-hardcore. Whenever I was reading that was an influence, I was waiting for a vocal delivery like that, and Elite did not disappoint, man. We got a lot of the repetition of when you're ripe, you'll bleed out of control, you'll bleed out of control, and you'll bleed out of control. That's just a phrase I think that needs to be screamed out, like Chino was doing there, man. He notes, "You like attention, it proves to you you're alive. Stop parading your angles. Confused, you'll know when you're ripe." And then that just segues in the chorus, man. "When you're ripe, you'll bleed out of control." I think kind of taking aim at somebody who's maybe a bit fake. I think that wouldn't be a stretch to say here, man. And I will note my only qualm with the song is when we got to the bridge and they put the almost like robotic mechanical type of sound effect on the voice. I would have just preferred Chino to just keep going in with the hard screaming vocals that we had in the rest of the track. But I get what they were doing, kind of experimenting. I'm sure it works for some of y'all, man. For me, on first listen, I was like, I want to just get back to the verses and the chorus, man, where Chino's just turning it up to 11, man. Great riff too, just heavy, and just fit the subject matter so well. So I dug that one too, man. And now we're gonna go to RX Queen right here, and this is kind of cool because it features an uncredited Scott Weiland vocals on the chorus. Scott Weiland, of course, of Stone Temple Pilots. The song delves into staying in a relationship that ultimately hurts both people involved. The protagonist's girlfriend is addicted to prescription drugs, which kind of fits with the name. And while it pains him to see her in that state, he helps feed her addiction, buying more to keep her satisfied. By the end of the song, the girlfriend is killed when she overdoses, leaving the protagonist with nowhere to go but to reminisce on memories of his time with her. Chino said of this, "It's the most futuristic song in the album." So let's get to it. RX Queen, keeping the heaviness coming, man. Yet again, quite enjoyed Chino's vocal delivery here, and I think too my favorite musical part of the song was Stephen Carpenter's descending riff that he had in there. Yet again, had a bit of that ominous, eerie tune that we had on our opener as well, and just keeping up with kind of the dark themes and tones that this record has through the first 4 tracks right here, man. And here we really just see this dude just loves unashamedly, and even to the detriment of himself, this woman, man, because you're my girl and that's all right. If you sting me, I won't mind. Chorus, man, says it right there in your face. And he notes in some vivid imagery here, "I'll steal a carcass for you, then feed off the virus," and that virus kind of comes back at the end there. And I think the best verse up in this whole record is that verse 3 here. "I see a red light in June and I hear crying." Red light, I'm thinking, is the ambulance. And then he shifts that, "You turn newborn baby blue, now we're all the virus." I think that contrast, she's blue obviously and not getting oxygen and is dead, but to describe that as newborn baby blue, I thought that was really interesting. Now we know we're all the virus now. Had some interesting things in the coda as well at the end, kind of with the whispered, type of vocals, and yet again, some interesting stuff going on here musically to go along with a story worth its weight as well, man. So we're gonna go now to the track Street Carp. Looks like it's the shortest song here on the record. Chino said it's a classic Deftones song with a rolling riff and some really interesting chords in the chorus. Vocals are kind of crazy. I'm singing out loud over the top of the music like Morrissey or something. A cool contrast. I didn't expect Morrissey these names to pop up today, but hey, there we go, man. So let's get this one underway. Right, Street Carp bringing it, man. Again, kind of showing the metal energy in this track right here, man. And I think just kind of put here, give you a little of that bolt of energy like we had on Elite. 2.5 minutes, man. It packed a lot in here. Packed a very fast pace. So it's my least favorite one up to this point, but I still enjoyed it though for what it was, and kind of more a testament to how strong the other songs were on the record up to here, man. Here he's talking with some gal who he describes as having sharp teeth. Gold teeth, who snaps at the walls, won't come down, and he's switching up his address. You can tell he doesn't really want to converse with this lady. He says, "Here's my new address, 664. Oh, I forget," and then he switches it up in the other courses. He says 615. There's all your evidence. Now take it home and run with it. Then at the end he says, "Now take it home and F with it." And man, just kind of a self-explanatory song right there, man. Sometimes you just need some great guitar work to headbang to and rock out, man. So now we're gonna go up to Teenager here, which interestingly enough was written by Chino when he was only 15 after a first date. One of the first songs that kind of displayed that new direction they were taking, and has elements of both shoegaze and trip hop, and deals with a youthful romance coming to an end. Another one that's pretty compacted, just over 3 minutes here, so let's get it. All right, Teenager, a total left turn and sound from the rest of this record, man. Definitely a showcase for Frank Delgado, which I hadn't brought him up to this point, but with those turntables going in, definitely feeling that trip hop influence. Didn't feel a ton of the shoegazy influence, but had a acoustic guitar, and Chino just with a very kind of straightforward and sweet vocal delivery that again we hadn't had up to this point in the record. So I like that they tried something different here, and man, I again enjoyed it for what it was. Doesn't strike for me as much as those first 5 tracks did, but still I don't think it drug at all or anything. I liked some of the lines like "New cavity moved into my heart today. The more she sings, the more it seems. Now I'm through with the new you." Really gets to the heart of that teenage angst and heartbreak, where you think the world's gonna end whenever your crush breaks the bad news to you or whatnot, and think, "Oh man, love is dead for me," type of thing. Then you grow up and hopefully you grow out of that. But yeah, man, not too much more to add on this one, man. But I do like how we're 6 songs in, and we've had so many different types of styles. It seems like there's going to be something for everybody just about on this record, and we're going to take it now to Knife Party. Chino said it's a seductive song with a lot of violent imagery. People don't tend to like sex mixed with violence. The midsection has amazing vocals from a girl called Rodleen, who worked next door to our studio. The inspiration for this song was a strange party on the band's tour bus once, where everyone had a knife from Abe's knife collection and was dancing around the bus with them. Chino then created an imaginary scenario from it about a secret knife society. Quote, "I made up this fake scenario of some kind of underworld society of knives, people who just get off on these erotic fantasies or something like that, an eyes wide shut kind of thing." Little Kubrick reference up in here, man. So man, I don't know what to expect here reading that, man, but only one way to find out. What a track this was, man. Yet again, I know I keep harping on him, but I think Stephen Carpenter, man, MVP of this. I mean, him and Chino, MVPs for me on this record so far. Loved especially in the chorus, how heavy the guitar got, and interesting to note too how their Deftones are able to compose a chorus that's very catchy. Go get your knife, go get your knife, with that heavy guitar, and you almost don't even know what you're saying, man. That contrast with the violence here. Go get your knife, come in, lay down, now kiss me. That what Chino was talking about, the mix of the violence and those sexual connotations as well coming in here, noting because in here we're all anemic, and here anemic and sweet. Anemic and sweet, not 2 words that you'd feel would go together, man. But Chino always kind of twisting, it seems, meanings and phrases that from what they normally mean. And as he continues to go on, you feel like these people are using this as a means to escape their lives, man. He knows, I can float here forever in this room. We can't touch the floor. And here, yet again, we're anemic and sweet. I did like the female vocals, almost like a bit of a darker Great Gig in the Sky Claire Torrey performance, man. We're from Rod Lean here, just kind of wailing throughout there, kind of getting lost in her performance with the guitar on top of that, man. All in all, a very strong song right here, man, as we're going to go now to the track Korea. Only 3 minutes and 20 seconds here. While the album was released in 2000s, Deftones didn't actually tour Korea until 2009. Chino said, "This was the first song we wrote for the record. It's a little heavy, talks about the white pony, strippers, and drugs." So let's get after it. Some interesting phasing effects as we go to the end here of Korea, man. The most easy comparison, vocally at least, and really, I mean, sonically as well, with how heavy and fast the guitar was to Elite. Didn't like this quite as much as Elite here, but I still thought, it brought a good energy, and at just over 3 minutes, yet again, I don't think it overstayed its welcome. Just like Chino said, man, from the beginning, you kind of get that the drugs, the strippers in there. I taste you much better off teeth taste of white skin on red leather. I'll just let you get that imagery in your head right there. Nighttime cavity coming. Downtown pony, work your pitch. He kind of also uses this metaphor of the claws that we got, which I think adds a bit to the grittiness that the musical atmosphere is setting as well throughout the song, man. Not too much more for me to add on to that one. As we go now, we're only 3 songs left, y'all. That's crazy. This is going really quick. We got Passenger featuring the great Maynard James Keenan. Did a top 10 list that one of our patrons, Brian, did. He did one about Maynard James Keenan, which was just fantastic. Obviously, Maynard of Tool fame. Chino notes, "I did this with Maynard. Basically, I told him I wanted to create a scenario of being in a car and being taken for a drive when you don't really know what's going on. I wanted him to create a lot of imagery. He wrote a majority of the lyrics and left blanks for me to fill in. Seems like you're being held captive, but enjoy what's going on." And the band noted about Maynard's appearance that he never intended to sing on anything. He just wanted to see how we wrote and give us ideas about how Tool does things, just because he's interested in bands. So we went down to work with him, and we already had the music for Passenger done. We were playing while Chino was getting a beer or something. He wasn't in the room. Maynard then was listening and said, "Why don't we put things in 4/4 time when you can go 3/4 or 7/8 or something like that?" And then he just grabbed the mic and started singing, and it was like, you know what I mean? And Chino had come back at that point, so they started trading off, doing their thing. So that is a very interesting story right there. I'm really curious to see how Chino and Maynard, with their powerful voices, are gonna kind of trade off here on this track, man. And let's get to it. All right, Passenger bringing it, man. That is just what I wanted with the personnel involved. Maynard killed it, as you would expect him to do, man. At times, kind of reminded me, especially since he was on the chorus, just with that power, kind of reminded me of the Tool or the Perfect Circle track, Judith, a little bit there. I think it's interesting on the subject matter as well, where this person, as I was saying in the quick facts, almost like on they're on a drive and necessarily don't necessarily want to be there, but they're still kind of vibe with it and see where the road takes them, so to speak. You were getting that from the lyricism here, which is a total opposite to Beta Sarah in the opener, where somebody's kidnapped and obviously doesn't want to be. This person kidnapped in a sense, and they don't really care, man. In that line, just like always, still your passenger. In that first verse, you had Chino and Maynard trading off with each other, which I thought worked well, man. Great vocal delivery on both those gentlemen's part, man. And really the highlight for me, yet again, that chorus. I thought Carpenter's guitar work, again, was outstanding. Abe had some really strong fills in here as well. Great imagery describing, the window, the air that's going through. And I thought the ending as well. Here I lay, just like always. Don't let me go, go, go. It's almost like this person's there wanting to be taken to the edge, if you will. Almost gives them that sense of connection, even though it's in a kind of dark way there. So really strong tune there. Got to give that heart. And 2 songs left, y'all. Going to the most streamed song on this record. We got Change and The House of Flies, the lead single, and it's to this day their most successful single. Went to 3 on the alternatives chart, 9 on the mainstream rock chart, and even 53 in the UK. So let's get after it. All right, Change and The House of Flies. One of my favorites, maybe my favorite up to this point. Definitely my favorite chorus, which is saying something, because I think the highlights on a lot of these songs, and I'm noticing in Deftones is in general, and this song is no exception. The way they ease you into the track with the instrumental, kind of set that dark atmosphere, go into the first verse before we just bring it all together with the heaviness, the loud guitars, the drums going in heavy as well, and Chino sounded fantastic here, and I like the subject matter as well that's going through. Seems like the protagonist here is somebody who was a big part of this other person's life, and this other person is now changing in a negative manner, in my estimation, as I'm reading it. And this person who's singing it, they're doing nothing to help this other person out of the rut they're in. And he even notes, like, I looked away, you were on fire. And then we go into the phenomenal chorus. I watched a change in you. It's like you never had wings. Now you feel so alive. I've watched you change. He notes how he took this person home, pulled off your wings, then laughed. Like he's not doing anything to be a good person or influence on this person who's just kind of going under a metamorphosis before him. He notes pretty powerfully, and this is where I thought it was really a well done decision to strip back all the sound. I looked at the cross, then I looked away. So turning back on religion here, give you the gun, blow me away. Maybe because of how he's treated this person, he's like, hey, see if you can almost pay me back in a sense. I don't know, man. And we finish with the you change into a fly. Yet again, man, instrumentally, just an absolute tour de force here. As we go now to the closer and the longest tune, we got Pink Maggot coming in at 7.5 minutes. Chino said the song was about the first day of school. Quote, the title comes from a Cool Keith song. We just thought it was some funny stuff. The song is meant to be triumphant. I'm trying to spread a little confidence. Lots of artists try to make songs for the kids who are tormented in school, telling them it's okay to be tormented. But it's not okay. Don't be ridiculed. Become the leader of your surroundings. Confidence is one of the most important things in life. If you are confident, you can do whatever you want. So curious to see what they do with the time on this one. And then afterwards, I'll give my favorite tracks and overall score to this very great record. Pink Maggot bringing us home, ladies and gentlemen. Really packed a punch with this one, starting off with those very echoey, reverb-heavy guitar notes, man, going in with Chino's whispered vocal delivery, which we've become accustomed to up to, all over this record, man. And yet again, kind of starts that a bit of that violent imagery in here. I'll stick you a little, enough to take your oxygen away, then I'll set you on fire because I'm on fire. That whole thing of a hurt people type of deal. He also notes, I'm with you alone. I'm so into this whore, afraid I might lose her. So forget about me because I'll stick you. I think kind of going in the, I'm just such a bad person. I can't be good to anybody. And if you stay around me, I'm going to end up hurting you at the end of the day. And then that builds up to, yet again, going to harp on how strong the choruses are. Stephen Carpenter, yet again, an MVP of this record and this song too, switching from building up that atmosphere, bookending the track, to going in heavy on the choruses there, as Chino really showed his range as well, being able to pull off the whispery start to kind of a lot of yelled portions in the chorus, man. We get the name drop, well, there you go, because back in school, we are the leaders of all. And then we get this whole idea of transpose. You know, you got to kind of shift gears a bit, or stop your life is what you do. You either got to evolve or die, or evolve, or you're just going to still be in that rut, I guess, if you will, man. And we finish with that ending where he notes, all you are is meat. That's the last cheery note that Chino is leaving us on this record. And we finish with a heartbeat type of effect as well, which I thought was well done. Another really strong tune right here, ladies and gentlemen, and I think it worked quite well as the closer. Great idea by the group to put this at the end here. So that's going to take me to my favorite tracks. I got Digital Bath was just wonderful, man. Even well, pretty much for all these songs, even with a darker subject matter, being able to bring in these catchy choruses and being able to resonate with that and connect even amidst the darker lyricism and atmospheres that were on a lot of the record was impressive. I got RX Queen, I got Knife Party, got to go Passenger with the Maynard guest spot there, and I got to go Change in the House of Flies. Going to my overall score and thoughts on the record now, man, first impression, really dug the sound of Deftones, dug how they weren't afraid to experiment either. I think this album flew on by too, and interesting to note, kind of saved 3 of the longest songs towards the end there, and yet they didn't overstay their welcome. You had them trying out blending, some of that trip hop action in there, which I thought was interesting. Had songs that strip back, go a little acoustic. Then you have a song like Elite, which goes all heavy and just gets that blood pumping and going. Mixing in some subject matter that is a bit dark, and yet Chino and company are not afraid to tackle such issues and speak out about it. Chino's got a great voice. Stephen Carpenter really impressed me. Abe was crushing the fills here, and all in all, man, really a great first listening experience for me. So I'm going to be at a solid 8.25 on this, and I can see that getting bumped up the more I kind of get familiar with the Deftones sound and this record in particular. So I want to shout out yet again Josh for suggesting this record to us today. Be sure to give him some love in the comments and let me know, what do you think about White Pony and Deftones in general? Where should I maybe look to next? What's their next record or a song that I need to queue on up? I always love your thoughts there. And if you'd like to have me react to a song or a record, you can check out our Patreon page, which is linked down below, as well as at the end screen, and which I'll be queuing up here in just a second, along with another video you might enjoy. But until next time, y'all, thanks so much for watching. Happy listening, and I will see you.